One thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family. Never forgetting where we came from.
I hope you hear me. Pain, since I've lost you, I'm lost too. Nigga feeling like he at the bottom like a horseshoe. Sorry for the trouble that I put you in your heart through. God knows that I do anything for a part two. Ought to be praying for the day you come back to me, saying that you forgive me. Give me another chance, I'm needing it like a kidney. I don't wanna advance, give me back her hands, give me back her touch. I don't ask
about you that I don't. He's her next witness.
I'm sorry about Professor Milgram. I didn't think you don't actually think through anything.
I need hard evidence against TARIQ St. Patrick, and I need it now.
Can you understand how much is at stake? It's not always about you.
What's going on, YouTube? We back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Knowles' YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we back with another TV show review, and we back with Power, Book 2, Ghost, Season 2, Episode 9, A Fair Fight. We pretty much are back with TARIQ and everything he has going on, like I always say. But this time, like I said, is besides, like I said, the trial and everything going on, he's still dealing with everything going on as far as his sister and trying to get her back. And I think he is starting, especially in this episode, seeing everything he's dealing with and everything that comes behind certain choices he's made and certain choices he's decided to make, and seeing if it's the best decision for his little sister to even be in his presence right now with everything he has going on. So it seems like TARIQ is kind of looking at things and kind of getting those revelations, especially with everything he done got to deal with as far as with Ghost, his daddy, and everything with the letter, and then with even with episode 8, last week's episode, with his daddy having all these things set up for for his little sister to be straight if anything was to go on with him or Tasha or whatnot. So you can kind of see, especially in this episode, and you'll know what I'm talking about, that TARIQ is kind of feeling like he coming to the revelation that he is probably not the best person to be in his little sister's life at this time. I mean, like I said, the man is running a criminal, he's not running it, but he's part of a criminal organization. So it's like, yeah, maybe you don't want your little sister there right now with you, bro. As far as Monet, man, I think a lot of people was wondering, did she kill Professor Milgram? And I would say, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, the last things out of her mouth was, if Zeke ain't gonna come back to me, he gonna always be able to come back to you. Meaning that, nigga, as long as you alive, he ain't gonna never want to come back to me, as far as Monet talking to Professor Milgram. So, hell yeah, she did that. She wasn't at the point where she was suicidal. I mean, she was going through her shit as far as being called out on the stands by Davis or whatnot, but Professor Milgram was not at the point where she was like, damn, I was ready to off myself. I mean, that's the last person that was in her room. That's the last person she was talking to. That shit made me feel like I was watching a Conjuring or something, watching her feet dangling like that. Not being funny or anything, but at the same time, it also brings around the fact that, is this the cause of TARIQ? The beginning of this episode, and I'm not going to say what happens, but it's a lot. I'm not saying it's a lot, but it's a certain scene at the beginning of this episode where it's a lot of TARIQ's past coming back to basically question his decisions. And not only that, it's a good scene, man. I'm not going to say what the scene is because it's certain spoilers with the scene, because it's certain people in the scene, and I'm not going to say who, but it's a real good scene. And I really enjoyed this scene, just seeing everything that TARIQ has done leading up into where he's at right now with the decisions he's made. Because whether he pulled the trigger or not, there has been a lot of deaths on TARIQ, on behalf of TARIQ, and certain decisions that he's made, having people go do certain things, leading all the way back to even with his with his twin, whatnot, his sister, whatnot, and what happened with her with Ray Ray. So it's a lot, especially in this particular scene I'm talking about, though. Diana. Diana is feeling it this episode because, of course, she is part of the famous dinner table scenes that we have in history. Of course, with cinema, when we have dinner table scenes, especially when we have them in either black movies or TV shows, and somebody is calling somebody out, but a bunch of revelations come to light. But she had that scene in last week's episode, so this week she's pretty much feeling like people are pretty much mad at her because she told the truth. And she pretty much letting it be known, like, what's going on, like, where everybody looking at me crazy, and I just let it be known what was going on as far as with Monet or whatnot, and what was going on with Zeke. Speaking of, man, I gotta talk about Zeke, bro. You have certain situations, and you have people trying to have serious dialogue. And I don't know if it's the writers, I don't know who it is or what's going on, but when y'all trying to put these real serious situations going on, give or take, that this shit do kind of play out like a soap opera. Shout out Tyler Perry and his movies. But I'm just saying, when you giving these certain moments to Zeke to be in a serious moment, why do y'all have him making these certain facial expressions? Or is it Zeke? Bro be just sitting there, and you gonna know what I'm talking about. Monet is sitting here trying to talk to my man about why she was telling him basically a lie about being his mama or whatnot, and Zeke sitting up there. I'm like, man, what is you looking like that for? Nigga, let her talk. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, is there something about the show where it's been like, at a point like, Z, you got to make you got to make funny facial expressions, because that's what people be talking about in the comment section and whatnot. But we in a serious scene right here. This is a serious moment. You got Monet, you got, shout out to Mary J. Blige, you got her doing her thing as far as her acting or whatnot, and you got this nigga just sitting here looking at her. Yeah, aren't you still with that facial expressions? Like, man, I'm not trying to say anything. Shout out to the actor that plays Zeke. I'm just saying, bro, the facial expressions my man be making, and it being like crucial moments or serious moments, and it's like, why are they letting this man do this on screen, man? But shout out to the actor that plays Zeke, man. He definitely like making history right now as far as being part of the show, because I don't feel like the show would be as good as not having him on here. Hold on, dang, why my background like that? But yeah, man, it's just everything that's going on as far as having him in these certain moments where you having serious dialogue, and then you got him making these certain facial expressions, and it's like, come on, man, we supposed to be having a serious moment. As far as Lorenzo, yeah, he pretty much going through it this episode, especially with the revelation that came out that Monet was pretty much messing with Dante. This nigga, man, Mecca. And I'm gonna get back to Lorenzo, but before I even get into him, it's like we had this whole thing going on where people, you got Monet dealing with Kane as far as the connect or whatnot, and Lorenzo dealing with Kane as far as the connect. Nobody's, and Lorenzo has met the connect, but not one time has Monet say, let me see a picture of this nigga, or let me see who he look like or whatnot, so we can get this connection out the way. And I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, it's just certain moments. That's the thing I say about the writing sometimes. I'm enjoying this season. I think this is one of the best seasons. Well, it's only 2 seasons as far as Power Book 2 goes, but I'm talking about as far as the Power universe. I'm actually really enjoying this season. And give or take what I've said about the acting here and there, like I said, I had just came off of Ozark, so last week's review or whatnot, that's pretty much what I was going off of. But give or take with this episode, even with this season, like I said, it's been a really good season, and I've not been able to put my finger on certain things, but give or take, it's like you have all these things going on, especially last week when they was doing the whole thing with trying to steal from Mecca or whatnot. But even with that, I said, if Mecca is who I think he is, he ain't that stupid. He know that Kane or somebody, as far as Kane, he had something to do with this or whatnot. Because even that look he gave him after he had killed the chef or whatnot. But it is something that comes out in this episode. Like I said, it's spoiler free. I'm not going to give it away. But I was like, okay, thank you. Now, I'm about to say, like, come on, bro. I know you're not that stupid. On the other end, it's certain things I was saying about Mecca. And we finally get answers this episode. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go. I knew it. It was something up with him, but I just could not put my finger on it, because I always felt like he was doing certain things, and his actions was like, okay, he can't be a part of this organization, or he can't be a government, whatever going on with this. And I always said, is he a snitch, or is he working with the FBI or something? Was he doing this in the third? And there's certain things that come to light this episode, and I was like, I'm not saying what it is, and I'm not saying I was right, I'm not saying I was wrong, but I'm saying we do get something on Mecca, and we finally find out what really is going on with him. But maybe a little bit more, it might be a little bit more, but we do finally get some answers with him, and I was like, okay, thank you, finally. But like I said, I knew he wasn't that stupid, and that's on the other end as far as the whole thing with them stealing his product or whatnot. I just knew he wasn't that stupid. Brandon, man, TARIQ and Brandon, they are really, 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 really reminding me of Ghost and Tommy, especially TARIQ. TARIQ still got these ways of doing things where he feel like he's looking out for the other person. Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? That's Ghost. That's what he's doing. Whether he feel like or whether he thinks he's doing not or being his own man or whatnot, bro, you your father's son. Like the way he be doing certain things, the way he been moving, and the way he be even trying to talk and explain the situation, nigga, that's Ghost. That is Ghost. Lying, manipulative, trying to say that he's looking out for you, but he really making sure he's looking out for his best interest. And in this episode, I really feel like Brandon was like, all right, enough is enough, man. It's time for me to make my own moves as far as certain decisions he's making. Not saying what he does, but it's certain things that happen in this episode where you like, okay, is Brandon really going to go this route, or is he not going to make this decision? And you're going to know what I'm talking about once you watch it. Effie. It's the same thing with Mecca, and we've been dealing with Effie way before we even got to Mecca, as far as Effie coming in the last part of the original Power or whatnot. So it's still some mystery going on with her, but now that I got my answers with Mecca, I kind of feel like maybe it's the same situation with her, or she has something else going on, because it's a certain thing that happened in this episode where I'm like, let's be clear, whenever you watching certain TV shows or whatnot, and you have certain supposed deaths that's supposed to happen, but you don't never get them on screen, of course, that person probably not dead. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, that person not dead. So it's a certain scene that happens in this episode where you think somebody's supposed to be going to get killed. Keyword, going to get killed. They don't show them actually getting killed. And I'm like, okay, that person's still alive. So now it has me thinking, is certain things going on with this certain character as far as Effie? And is she a part of certain things, the same thing that's going on with Mecca, or do she have her own things going on? Because once again, y'all let me know in the comment section, am I wrong? Have we still not met this girl parents? I have not seen this girl parents. I still don't got a concrete thing that's going on with her, but I'm just saying, I still need to know what's going on as far as her parents. I feel like we still have not got that connection or whatnot, but I still feel like it's something that's going on with Ghost or whatnot. Speaking of Ghost and Tommy, man, that's another thing I really loved about this episode. I like the connections to the past, and that's another thing that TARIQ is definitely dealing with this episode. But not only this episode, this season, is the past. That's what I was saying at the beginning, and one of the first scenes in this episode is the past, and one of the last scenes, not the very last scene, but going towards the end of this episode, is TARIQ's is the past. But I'm not gonna say it's somewhat working out for him, but it's somewhat giving you an understanding of why he's making the certain decisions he's making, especially with a certain scene he has in here when it pertains to Yaz as far as his little sister. And you can tell like he's trying to get in that epiphany, like, okay, I think I need to just fall back. I'm telling you, you're gonna know the scene I'm talking about. But like I said, it's the past that keeps on, is coming up, and it's the thing that TARIQ is definitely facing, especially with this season, man. But like I said, that's one of the more better ends as far as everything pertaining to Effie, Brandon, and even with TARIQ. And that brings me back to Lauren. Lauren does pop up in this episode, and she pretty much is trying to explain to TARIQ why she was making the decision she was making as far as the wire and everything. And even with TARIQ, I think even with last episode, as far as episode 8, you kind of see that he was kind of getting an understanding of why she was doing certain things she was doing, because he wasn't even technically mad at her. He was more going at Professor Milgram, and you see how that outcome was, especially when she got in that courtroom or whatnot. But as far as Lauren go, you could just see like she was confused at the time, and even with this episode, you kind of see her explaining certain things where she felt like the case wasn't even supposed to be about TARIQ. And you understand what I'm talking about. Even when she said certain things to TARIQ, it's like I even forgot about that or didn't realize that. I was like, oh, so they was going that route. And it's something that involves Brandon. And like I said, this spoiler free, I'm not going to explain, but you kind of understand why Brandon even starts making certain decisions he's making in this episode. So that's why you kind of get that comparison, and you get in that without it being on the nose as far as Ghost and Tommy. It's there though, and you see it, especially with TARIQ. TARIQ is definitely Ghost, man. Pertaining to Drew, like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm confused on Drew, but I'm wondering if he really wanting to do what he's doing with his daddy, or is he got his own thing going on as far as certain decisions he's making, especially when it pertains to the dude he's talking to or whatnot. is he this guy that's like wanting to go out here and be like this drug kingpin and do what he's doing? Because I'm kind of getting those vibes like he does kind of want to do that, but in past seasons, well, like not past seasons, well, we only got 2 seasons. Like that last season, as far as season 1, it kind of felt like he wasn't wanting to go that route. But this season, it seems like he is, like he all for it or whatnot. It seems like he's all like, it's like, I'm good. Let's do this. I'm down with my father or whatnot. I'm willing to go the same route he's willing to go. I'm willing to take the same risk he's willing to take. And I might be even willing to do certain things he don't think I'm capable of. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from Drew. So that's the thing I'm feeling like with Drew as far as, are we going to get a clear-cut answer on how he really wants to go about as far as whether he wants to run the organization with his father or after even his father is not running the organization as far as the Tejada organization, or does he have his own agenda? And with this episode, you see a lot of agendas. You see a lot of people with their own agendas making their own moves or whatnot, but it's understandable and you get it because everybody has their own certain things as far as, especially with TARIQ, and trying to explain why he makes certain lies or certain manipulations, certain sort of things. And that's why I keep making that comparison to Ghost or whatnot. Kane, man, once again, brother, you're not as smart as you think you are. And I think that's just all around because, like I said, even with him doing what he was doing with Mecca, and you kind of see, like, Kane, hey, I ain't gonna even front. Kane be telling you, like, bro, listen, nigga, I'm not doing this and the third. Like, no, nigga, I got to go. I got to roll. But you, like I said, I'm trying to say it without giving it away, but I thought certain things was going to happen even with Kane, whether it was this episode or this season, but certain things play out in this episode where it's like, okay, are we even going to go that route, or are we going to go the other route as far as pertaining to Kane? Because I ain't going to lie, I'm like, Kane is out of here this season. He's a dub. He's gone. Whether it's going to be by Mecca, Monet, Tariq, whoever it is, he's out of here. But it could be going another route, and I'm like, okay, I'm good with that, because whether you think Kane's stupid or whether you agree with his decisions he be making, with most of us don't agree with the decisions Kane be making, I like him as a character, though. I do. I enjoy him as a character, and I don't know if they're going to kill him off or not this season, but I think certain things are going to happen because, I mean, they've kind of been dropping bodies this season or whatnot. So that's the thing as far as pertaining to him. I don't have Tate up here, but Tate has a very pivotal role in this episode or whatnot. He actually ends up taking a stand in this episode, and the way he does things and the way he goes about them, Tate is a manipulative motherfucker. Man, shout out to Lorenz Tate, man, for playing this role, because I feel like he been kind of on the nose heavy with it as far as his whole, when he be doing the little smiles or nothing, it's something like a Disney villain or whatnot, but not this season or whatnot, and not even in this particular series or whatnot, because, you know, as far as the original Power, Lorenz Tate, you got to think, is a goddamn veteran actor. Bro been around for a long time, and he is an actor of actors, dead presidents, all of these. So I once again keep saying the writing be kind of heavy for some of these actors or actresses. Same thing with Mary J. Blige, where it feel like they be kind of one noted, and I feel like it was kind of with Tate, as far as Lorenz Tate playing his role. I feel like they kind of had that writing with him. But going into this new season, as far as season 2 of Power Book 2 Ghost, I feel like they kind of gave him a little bit more range or whatnot, especially when him trying to come back and trying to get back into the position he was in from previous seasons or whatnot, as far as the original Power or whatnot. My bad, y'all. I feel like I was kind of going in and out. Like I said, I'm gonna have to get this right. I definitely got to get my writing right. I mean, my lighting right as far as my background, because I'm using a green screen or whatnot. But besides all that, like I said, Tate does have certain things he's doing in here. You see his agenda, and like I said, you could, like, bro, don't even, if it's family or not, he still be doing certain things where it's like, damn, bro, like, that's your people. Why is you going this route? And you're gonna know what I'm talking about pertaining to Tate once you watch the episode, man. But overall, man, this is definitely leading into a phenomenal season finale, which is the next episode. Everything that happens in this episode is definitely got you on your P's and Q's. And like I said, I was really glad to get somewhat of some answers on Dante and who he is. And I feel like I was right at the first time I was guessing. But like I said, when he was doing certain things, especially in that last episode, I was like, okay, ain't no way that could be who he is or whatnot. But certain things come to light and certain things happen in this episode where we get those answers. But like I said, man, y'all Power, y'all gotta do better with my boy Zeke. We be in these positions where we trying to hear Mary J. Blige, and she talking to him, she explaining certain things, and he making these certain facial expressions, man. Even before she started talking, he just, I'm telling you, gonna know what I'm talking about, man. I'm just sitting there like, and you gonna know what I'm talking about. Overall, though, I'm still enjoying this series, man. I think it is definitely the better season as far as the 2 seasons they do have. I feel like it's way better than that first season. I feel like it's better writing. I feel like the story is better. And I still hope we get some type of answers with Effie and not exactly who she is, but what her certain agendas is. Because I feel like she still has her certain agendas besides what's going on with TARIQ or whatnot. But y'all let me know in the comment section, how did y'all feel about this latest episode as far as Proud Book 2 Ghost Season 2 Episode 9, A Fair Fight? How did y'all feel about this recent episode? Did y'all feel like it's going to lead up into the expectations that you have had as far as pertaining to Mecca if you have watched this episode, or even with the certain decisions TARIQ is making or the Tejada family? Let me know in the comment section. If you not watched this episode, I'm telling you, you in for a ride. And the answers we get with Mecca, I think a lot of us might have been right, but a lot of us was wrong, because I heard a lot of people saying certain things with connections with Ghost or whatnot, and you know, as far as him being his brother or whatnot, there's a lot of things as far as theories pertaining to Mecca. But that's the good thing, because that's one thing I really enjoyed about this new season of Ghost, as far as Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2, is the whole mystery behind Mecca, and enjoying him as a side character, not getting this like character where we didn't even like and we was wanting him to get out of here, but we actually, and I all around feel like as an audience member and watching this show, I feel like we all enjoy Mecca as a character or whatnot. Shout out to that actor, because he done been in a couple things, man. But overall, I enjoyed this episode, and it's definitely got me hyped for the season finale. But y'all let me know in the comment section, how did y'all feel about this latest episode of Power Book 2 Ghost Episode 9, A Fair Fight? Let me know in the comment section, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload new videos. This is the road to 400 subs. Shout out to all my subscribers and everybody who's been checking out my videos, man. I really appreciate y'all taking the time just to watch me. We out.
About you. I gave you a gun. Use it. Get revenge.
He won't rest until he takes everything away from you.
Strap up, we're headed out.
See me smile at the actual situation. And because they can sense that I'm not afraid of it, yeah, it's only because of my experience prior to.